What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Before this video starts, I just want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel and also turn on your notifications so that you don't miss an upload. I would greatly appreciate it. And also, if you do enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like. That makes a big difference in helping this channel grow. Alright, that's out of the way. I really wanted to get that out, but now that I did, today I want to just kind of go over the schedule or parts of the schedule that got released. Obviously, opening week and then also Christmas Day, the schedule. It's always, very interesting to see what these matchups end up being. So it's always a interesting conversation. So, those games dropped and I want to just give my thoughts on them. So let's start with opening week. October 19th, Tuesday, we first have the Nets and the Bucks. I love that one because, it's just great. The Bucks are going to get their rings. They're going to do the whole banner thing to celebrate the championship. And I think having the Nets there is going to be really good because obviously those teams met in the playoffs and it was a really good series. It went literally to the last moments of Game 7. So, of course, the rematch there is going to be great. The two Eastern Conference powerhouses going at each other. And then it's also funny and petty that James Harden's going to be there watching Giannis get a ring after all the shit that Harden said about him a few years ago. That's obviously funny, but I think this is a great matchup to start it off. And then after that, you have the Warriors and the Lakers. Now, I get the Warriors are going to be on national TV a lot because of Steph, and Steph equals ratings. I get that, but the team itself is not going to be all that great that it's going to be worth watching. Like, Steph's going to put on a show, right? Like, we saw that last year. Steph put up incredible numbers and did all these incredible things, and he was so fun to watch. But I just don't know about this team, especially against the Lakers. Like, I don't know. If Clay's back for opening night, then that's different. Then yes, I would love to see the Warriors against the Lakers, but it doesn't look like Clay's going to be back until like a month or two in the season. So until then, it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I feel like Steph's going to bring ratings for sure, but at the same time, this Warriors team is like, I don't know. I thought there would be a more interesting matchup against the Lakers, but the Lakers itself, you're going to have them there, of course. LeBron, AD, Westbrook, you're going to have them there. So I'm not mad at it, but I just hope Clay's there. If Clay's there, then yeah, I get it. Now we go to Wednesday, October 20th. The next day, we have the Celtics and the Knicks. Now, man, I don't know how the Celtics are going to have so many national televised games. Like, it was the same thing last year. Like, this team is, good, but, Tatum and Brown are going to be fun to watch. But other than that, I don't know about this team, man. And this is more in-depth about those teams themselves. And I'm going to have videos on these teams again later, but I'm sure it's a fine matchup, right? Two teams that are going to be basically in the same tier in the Eastern Conference competing for playoff spots. You're going to have the Knicks, opening it up in Madison Square Garden. I don't hate it, but I'm just I hope they don't push the Celtics too hard on national TV. But this matchup itself for opening day, I don't mind it. Now, after that, you get the Nuggets and the Suns. This one is actually going to be a very interesting matchup because hopefully it's not going to be a complete whoop ass like it was in the playoffs when these two teams met, because the Suns swept them. And the Nuggets are going to be without Jamal Murray for a good amount of time to start the season. So, at the same time, I get it though. Jokic is the reigning MVP and he should have a lot of national games because he's that guy. He's great to watch. So that one is the one that I don't really get mad at. You're going to have the Suns there because they're the, Western Conference champions. And the Nuggets being their first matchup is interesting. I don't know what led to it, but maybe it's just because you have the MVP. I don't mind it. I don't mind that matchup. Thursday, we start off with the Mavericks and the Hawks. Now, Luka and Trey, that's obviously going to be, box office TV. You have two young, incredible talents who got traded for each other, top picks in the same draft, both having incredible careers so far, going into their fourth years. Both guys just signed massive contract extensions, and watching those two go at each other is going to be fun, right? It's always going to be a show, especially with how good the Hawks were. And then obviously Luka is a show, man, every time you watch him. So I think those two against each other to start, I think that's a really good matchup. After that, on Thursday, you have the Clippers and the Warriors. Now, this one I am definitely not sure about. I don't know how the Clippers are going to have that many national TV games, but I don't know if they should have been this matchup, man. I don't know what the answer was, but without Kawhi being out, with Kawhi being out for probably half of the season, I don't know why the Clippers are going to be on national TV. Like, this team's not going to be bad. Like, no doubt, Paul George is going to be good enough. But, is Steph versus Paul George going to be great TV? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But, again, like, the Clippers having opening week schedule, I get it. They're in LA, and it's, LA versus Golden State is going to be a good matchup. But I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about the Clippers being on opening week national TV. It just feels like without Kawhi, this team is not going to be like must watch. That's just my opinion. Friday, we have the Nets and the Sixers. That one's going to be interesting. The Nets obviously are going to be, the favorites to win the East. And then the Sixers are going to be a very interesting team to watch, especially with Joel Embiid. He was a runner-up for MVP. He just signed a contract extension. How is this team going to look? Is Ben Simmons going to still be there? That's going to be very interesting to watch, so we'll be obviously looking for that. But, the Sixers were the top seed in the East. They disappointed, only got to the second round. So, maybe going up against the Nets in that powerhouse is going to be an interesting matchup. I think so. So we'll see about that. And then after that, we have the Suns and the Lakers. I like this matchup. Obviously, a rematch of the first round. The Lakers were not the same, in that series. LeBron was not 100%. AD was barely playing. So now you have this new look Lakers team going up against the Western Conference champions. I think that's going to be a really good game to watch. And it's at Staples. And, a game at Staples you can't go wrong with. It's always going to be good TV. So that's the opening week schedule. Now, again, like I said, a lot of them I really didn't mind. I just wasn't sure about the Clippers getting a lot of national games or the Celtics. And then also the Warriors. I'm just not sure if Klay's coming back in time for opening week. But there's still a lot of interesting matchups. And obviously opening week is going to be, a lot of the top teams going at each other. But, maybe there could have been some more solutions. I would have loved to see, the Bulls. And I'm biased. I would have liked to see the Bulls, get a national game, especially with how different their team is. They're so fascinating. I would have liked to see the Heat maybe, because obviously getting Kyle Lowry is going to be a big deal. But other than that, the teams there, I guess I don't mind. But now let's go to Christmas. So first Christmas game, you have the Hawks and the Knicks. I like this one. That playoff series was very intense, even though, like, people say it was an intense series, but it really wasn't. The Hawks crushed the Knicks. It was only intense because, it was the Knicks, and it was Madison Square Garden, and there was some drama with the fans and stuff like that. And Trae Young basically, punked them out in the Garden. So, Trae being there for Christmas, I think, is going to be fun, even though, I don't love the matchup. I think Trae Young being petty in Madison Square Garden on Christmas Day is funny. So, yeah, I don't mind that. After that, the Bucks and the Celtics. Again, with the Celtics, man, I just don't think they're that good to have a Christmas game. Like, I get you have to have someone matched up with, the Bucks, but, they should have done Philly at least, right? I wouldn't have minded if they did Philly. Like, I think that would have been a more better matchup. Like, Joel Embiid versus Giannis. I think that would have been a more better matchup for Christmas other than, the Celtics. But that's just me in my opinion. After that, you have the Warriors and the Suns. That one's going to be interesting. Chris Paul versus Steph Curry. And then hopefully Klay Thompson and Devin Booker. Two incredible backcourts going at each other. That's going to be fun, hopefully, if everyone's healthy. I think that'll be a good matchup. And then after that, you have the Nets and the Lakers. That's going to be the one, man. That's going to be the one that everyone talks about and everyone's going to watch. The ratings for that game are going to be through the roof. Like, I can't even begin to think about the ratings. And of course, as fans, we really shouldn't care about ratings, but they're still going to be interesting to think about. Nets Lakers is going to be fun. Two teams that are going to be the favorites. Two teams that everyone thinks are going to meet in the finals. I think that hopefully, I just pray and everyone's healthy, because if everyone on the Nets is healthy and everyone on the Lakers is healthy, this is going to be a fun game to watch, a really fun game to watch. And it's on primetime Christmas Day, so there's going to be a lot of eyes on it too, so that'll be fun. And then after that, the Mavericks and the Jazz. I don't know, man. Like, it's the nightcap game, and most people really tune out after the primetime game. I remember last year, after the Brooklyn Nets played, then the last game was like Lakers and Mavericks, and no one gave a shit. It's going to be the same thing with this, where the Mavericks and Jazz, who's going to stay up at 10:30 Eastern to watch the Mavericks and the Jazz, right? Like, Luka's a show for sure, but like it's just a weird matchup. Like, why against the Jazz? Like, Donovan Mitchell, I get, he's so fun to watch, but like, and maybe it's just me because I'm a Utah hater. I'm not even gonna lie about it. I'm a Utah Jazz hater, but like, this is just an awkward matchup. Like, they could have done so much better. And also, another thing that with this Christmas stuff, like, the matchups themselves, like, out of the 5 games, 3 of them I think are going to be interesting. The other 2 I really don't care for. But why don't you have the MVP on Christmas games? Like, why is the Nuggets not on this schedule? Like, you don't have the reigning MVP playing on a Christmas game for the first time in 8 years? Why? That makes no sense. No sense at all. Man, if I was the Nuggets, if I was Jokic, I would feel so disrespected. Because even without Jamal Murray, you have the reigning MVP, and the team was fun to watch too still, without Murray. So, it's still good TV. I don't know why the Nuggets aren't on there. That doesn't make any sense to me, but, I mean, it is what it is. Overall, honestly, it's not that bad of a schedule for opening week and for Christmas. I think there's just I think once the full schedule comes out in a couple of days, we'll get an idea of how these schedules match up and who gets more national games and who gets less. And that's where the interesting conversations are going to be. But so far, I mean, I don't mind it. There's going to be interesting matchups. And regardless, at the end of the day, for me, it's basketball. And anytime I get the chance to watch NBA basketball, I'm going to watch it because I love the game and I love watching these guys do their thing. So at the end of the day, as much as I complain, I'm going to watch all these games. So it really doesn't matter, but it's still interesting to talk about the matchups. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you think about these schedules. What teams do you think should have been in the schedule? What teams do you think should be out? I'm curious to hear what you guys think, so let me know. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and also turn on your notifications so that you don't miss an upload. And that's it. Thank you guys, as always, for your continuous support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.